Well, today I am joined by Linda Weiner, who is here on behalf of the Baby Boomers Club, and she has a very important announcement. Well, Linda, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Lisa.
All right, so the announcement is that you guys are going to have Woodstock this year, and I know how excited you all are, and the community probably can't wait. But before we get into all the nitty gritty of the actual experience, tell me a little bit about, COVID has really made people kind of, worried about stuff. So I know that there's some things that you've had to change. So let's just touch on that real quick before we get into the details.
Excellent. Well, what's been important is the safety of our residents, certainly. That is a number one in terms of people coming, feeling comfortable and safe. So we are indeed very fortunate having this lovely space at Clubhouse 2, which also includes an outside back patio. And it also includes, of course, an inside room, which is what we used last year, in addition to the front patio for the big bands. So fortunately, because of that very large back patio, actually, surprisingly, it is as large as the inside ballroom. I know you don't think about it that way, but when you actually look at the two spaces, so it was a very simple conclusion to come to that, hey, where do people feel the most comfortable? Outside. Exactly. Where do people want to enjoy their time? Outside. So for us, we basically had a very easy decision to make about that. And all the people that work with us, some of our vendors, our sponsors, our bands, everybody has been enormously cooperative because they all feel the same way. Let's make this happen, but let's make it happen in a safe way.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you have a lot of people that have put this together, a big team of folks, and you went through all this planning. So the best thing is to make it happen. So with that said, tell me some of the highlights.
Some of the highlights of what we tried to do when we compared 2 years ago. I can't even believe I'm saying 2 years. It's just so bizarre that it took 2 years to get here, because it kind of seems like yesterday, and then other times it seems like it was forever ago. We thought what we had was a really good template to do this, and that included the new things that we had brought to the fore, which was a photo booth, which, by the way, there was like a 40-person wait, a tarot card reader, a face painter, food vendors. Everything that we did. It was, the question then became, okay, that's what we did, and it was all successful. What are we going to do to add to it? Because, you don't want to stagnate. You don't want to stay the same. You want to, Satchel Paige said, don't look behind you. You never know what's gaining on you. Keep moving forward. And that's kind of our attitude. We want to keep moving forward. We want to add new things. I'm going to take off my pink glasses. There. And so what came up was, what's new and different? The beer and wine garden. Yeah. That was something we had never done before. And GRF is doing that for us. And so people will have the option, certainly, to be able to have a glass of wine, some beer. And it's just, again, something new that we've added. I'm sure next year there'll be some other extraordinary new idea that we'll add to it. So some of the things that we are doing, again, are going to be very similar to last year, which were so successful. When you go to the photo booth, and it's free, you get your picture done, you actually walk away with a 4x6 picture. Which is so you have a piece of memorabilia about Woodstock. Right. So when you look at that, and the face painter and the tarot card reader, extraordinarily, people were so enthusiastic, excited. Oh, tell me with my cards. And we had to make sure, like, oh my gosh, her name is Lee McMaster. She's a wonderful actor. And we have to make sure to feed her because she was so busy and so many people signing up. So between that, and we have food from 19 Restaurant. We have food from Laguna Cafe, which I think a lot of our residents know, right across the street near Aldi. And they know so many of our residents. So we're going to have everything from sandwiches to some Mexican food to hot dogs, hamburgers. We're going to have a little bit of everything. And then, of course, people can bring some of their own things if they choose. Some of our residents have been coming here for many years. In fact, this would have been the 13th year of Woodstock, but because we didn't do last year, it's year 12.
Yes. What could someone experience? Like, what should they expect if they've never been to a Woodstock or didn't go to Woodstock way back when?
Yeah, it's really kind of adorable because I've been able to sell tickets and meet a lot of our new residents. And when you think about a year and a half, there's a lot of new people that have moved in, and there's a lot of them, they're getting younger. And so when you think about it, Woodstock, the actual Woodstock was 52 years ago. So a lot of the residents that are moving in were kids. Yep. When what, like me, I was a kid. No, anyway. So a lot of them, when they come and buy tickets, and I'll say to them, "So have you ever gone to our Woodstock celebration before?" And they go, "No." And so they're so excited, and we try to give them little hints and tips. Come at 8 o'clock, set your stuff up, And so they're very, very happy. They've looked at the pictures on our website, which you can do. Go on to babyboomersclub.org.
Right. Okay.
And so the new people are really, really excited. Well, they don't know what to expect. So that's really been fun. And then of course, some of the residents who haven't gone in many years. And so we're so happy to be able to bring that to them.
No, it sounds like a lot of fun. And I've watched the videos of the past ones, and everybody looks like they're having a great time. Now, some of the most important thing about Woodstock, though, is of course the music. And you guys have tons of bands that are going to be playing throughout the whole day. Yes. Maybe highlight one or two of those bands real quick.
Okay, we're doing it very similarly to 2 years ago, which is having two sets of bands, because here within our community, we have some enormously talented bands. And so they are going to be doing the half-hour breaks in between our large outside bands, outside of the community bands that will be coming in to play. So consequently, an inside band will start, a back patio band will start at 2 o'clock till 2:30. That's the Woods combo. And then there'll be another band in the back patio, and then one of our big outside bands. In fact, one is so popular that there was a request from so many residents that wanted to have Love Saves the Day. And Ruby, the singer, is fabulous. So It's going to be the kind of thing that you want to dance on the front patio to the big bands. If you want to go into the back patio for the little bands, you can eat, you can drink, you can dance a little in there. So we've tried to make the music a continuous process with a little bit for everybody. We listened, I would say, to probably about 40 YouTube bands, and went to actually physically listen to some bands because we absolutely wanted it to be the best.
Yeah. That is great. Yeah. That is great. I mean, to have continuous music like that is really important. And like you said, it's just going to be a big dance fest. I think it's going to be awesome. Now, one thing that's kind of nice. Now, of course, it is a $20 admission. You mentioned something about wristbands. What are those needed for?
Okay. The way it works is, everybody gets like this ticket idea in their head. Well, when you have hundreds of people, you have to know, did people come in, did they pay, whatever. Right. So we use a wristband, and there's a couple ways you can get them. You can go online into the babyboomer.org, and you can actually buy the ticket, your wristband online, and then you can come to, we're having, in fact, well, it won't be seen for tomorrow, but the 2nd and the 9th of September, we're again selling tickets on the front patio of Clubhouse 2. And you basically come, we have the printout of what you paid for if you did it online, and then we'll give you your wristbands. And we kind of encourage people to do that, because imagine the day of, with so many people coming in, try to get your wristband, because there'll be a line just for the wristband people, and they can just walk right in. Right. So what we're trying to do is expedite it. So, because everybody, they get there, they get excited, I want to find my spot on the lawn. And so they can do that, or they can come tomorrow or next week on the 9th, and we'll be there for 2 hours from 10 to 12, Diane and I, our chair, and we will be selling wristbands.
Okay, excellent. And one last thing, tell us about the bus service, because I think that's really a key thing.
Right, that was something new we added 2 years ago. And we have a wonderful sponsor called Optum Care, and they're our big sponsor. And then we have, of course, other people who are doing wonderful donations to sponsor, and who have a belief in what we're doing. And because we have this wonderful resident community, so we have 2 age-well buses, and everybody has seen them around. And what they're going to do is they're just going to make a continuous loop. They're going to go from the Sylvester Community Center, and then they're going to go up to the community center area. So they'll just make a loop. And the good thing about that is, if you bring your stuff in the morning and just drop it and you want to go home, then just use the buses and park your car, strategically, because parking is always limited. Yeah. And so the buses are just a wonderful way. And they'll be going from 1 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night. And it's continuous. So if you decide you want to go home for 2 hours in the afternoon and then come back, it takes away some of the stress of parking, because when you have hundreds of people, parking can get to be an issue.
Well, also, and if it happens to be warm that day and you wanted to go home and take a break, cool off and come back, I think that's a great option because as you mentioned, the wristband is good for the entire time.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
And again, it's just something that we added 2 years ago. So not that it's pressure, but so next year it'll be,
And now what?
What's new this year? So
oh, that's great.
And
that
we are encouraging a lot of the new residents, as I said, who have moved in, if not only to join the Baby Boomers Club, but to get involved, because there's so many great and fun things that you can be a party to. And it's so nice to know that you can contribute to something that is just fun. I mean, there's nothing negative here. There's nothing sad here. This is all about meeting people, having fun. And one of the best ways, when I moved here 4 years ago, I didn't know a soul. And Baby Boomers were absolutely just a wonderful way to get involved.
Yes, you guys always have a good time. All right, let's reiterate. That event is the Laguna Woodstock, and it'll be on September 18th. Saturday. Outside at the main stage outdoor patio, as well as Clubhouse too. So congratulations. I'm glad you guys can pull it off. So we'll look for an update.
Thank you so much. And honestly, it's just got to get bigger and better than ever. So stay tuned.
All right, Linda. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
People left me down, so I turned the other way. Another day of love. Have I planned on a dollar bill, but the dollar bill blew away. But the sun is shining down on me. It's yesterday. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate. Yeah, yeah. Another day of living. I just want to celebrate. Another